For the past 6 months, I have been testing out a couple of different supplements that I have found very useful during my brain health and brain recovery process. And today, I'm sharing with you what those supplements are, how they have helped me. We're going to go over a couple of articles concerning these supplements, and well, you take it from there as to what you do with it. This is In the Pursuit. I am David Pearson. Thank you for joining me for my podcast. Let's get started. Welcome back. I'm David Pearson, and I'm happy to be joining you on this day to, share this information with you. When I come to you live. I don't really pre-record my videos. It puts a lot of pressure on me to be able to come and share this information with you the best way possible. I also do it to help improve my own communication skills with you. It puts a lot of pressure on me to pre-study some of this information and then get it out and share it with you. My goal today in this podcast is to keep a steady pace, not be too fast and not be too quick, but also not be too slow. I want to be able to keep your attention and keep you focused as to what the main points of this podcast is really about. And that is your brain health, improved mental focus, and improved brain injury recovery. Now, I am a marketer by trade. I've shared this information with you before, but I need to remind you that I am not a doctor, I'm not a healthcare professional, nor am I a nutritional specialist. I have seen doctors, I've seen nutritional specialists, and I have visited a variety of different doctors of different various backgrounds and professions. I had found that brain injury recovery is one of those things that is not well educated enough among medical professionals. In fact, one of the best treatment solutions I have received is probably number one, chiropractics, which helps improve blood flow to the brain. Number two, finding the right kind of doctors that really understand this information. But number three, really further beyond doctors that not just understand this information, but understand the modern medicine of brain injury recovery. Now, brain injuries is not fun to overcome. In fact, anyone who experiences brain injuries, whether if it's a major traumatic brain injury or a minor traumatic brain injury, such as post-concussive syndrome, it puts you on a journey. It puts you on a journey to try to get you back to being as normal as possible. And during that process of time, there is a real life struggle. And if anyone tells you that they are suffering from these symptoms and you look at them and you think that they're not suffering from these symptoms but are acting normal, one, they're doing a pretty good job at faking it, but two, you're missing who they really are. And they know who they are. And if you were to talk to their family members, they could probably attest to you what you are seeing now is not the person that you have seen before. That same thing goes for me. I have even dealt with, through this post-concussion syndrome, this minor traumatic brain injury, personality changes. It does happen. It does take place. And as I am sharing these podcasts with you, not only am I using it as a way to put pressure on me to become better, but it is also a direct report to you as to how I am doing. You get to see how I am improving over time, over months, over years. So every time that I come on here, you get to see how I am changing and how I am improving in coming to you. I find it to be a real joy to share this information with you and to keep on coming on here. Sometimes it is a scary thing to do, but I need to look beyond fear and look you dead in the eyes, well, in this case, a camera, and speak to you by ear through a microphone. So if you're watching me on YouTube or through Facebook, great. You get to see me looking right at the camera. But if you're listening, I'm happy to actually share this information with you. Now, before I move on to talk about the supplements that I have been working with for the past 6 months, I would like to first thank YouTube and Spotify for making this possible, on allowing me to be able to broadcast this and come to you. YouTube for allowing me to be able to come to you live. Thank you. Spotify for making Anchor.fm possible to distribute my podcast accordingly. So if you ever want to do a podcast yourself, I highly recommend Anchor.fm to go to. If you want to visit my direct page, go to anchor.fm/intopursuit, or you can always go to my website at intopursuit.com. There you can find past articles, and you'll be able to see how you can be able to sponsor me if you want to be able to sponsor me, or be able to help support me. Not sponsor. I didn't mean sponsor. I meant support. So here, cuckoo, still get to work on some things here. So anyhow, thank you for joining me on this day once again. The two supplements I want to come to and speak to you on is lion's mane and Ginkgo Biloba. Now, no one has introduced this information to me except me discussing things with my wife, because she's been looking things up herself. She's been listening to different healthcare professionals as well, looking up different articles. I have been doing the same thing. And also, number one source, I have been turning to God through prayer and faith, asking for help on this guidance, because there's still much to be discovered as to what can make things possible. Now, I started finding some more answers on nutritional recovery when it comes to brain health. These answers I'm actually finding through Alzheimer's research, and also research that is dealing with ADHD. Now, even though these are specific focus to Alzheimer's and ADHD, I'm finding that recommendations for nutrition around these areas has been guiding me along the way to finding nutritional supplement help accordingly to help improve these areas. Additionally, different exercises to improve these brain functions too. First, let's go ahead and talk about my experience with Ginkgo Biloba. So right now, as I am talking to you, I'm setting up my screen, and I am preparing that to share with you. And so if you're watching me on YouTube, you'll be able to see this. But don't worry, for those who are listening into my podcast, I'm going to be able to explain all these things as I go through here. And as you read the descriptions too, you can find the links to these sources that I'm sharing with you. So that way, if you want to go back and read these things for yourself, which I encourage you to do, you can go back and read these articles, and it can also provide you some more information as to what you can go and run a
audio
search
capture,
yourself,
not
and
registered.
do your own research, do your own homework, test these things on out. I also do have a recommendation for a supplement that I have been taking for the past 3 months that has combined both lion's mane and Ginkgo Biloba, which has been working out tremendous for me. And I'll be introducing that to you a little bit later on. They are not a sponsor. I have no sponsors for this. This is me, marketer. I work hard for my family, just sharing the information with you guys as I am coming to discover these things as to what is working for me on brain health and brain injury recovery. Now, the reason why I included brain health in this headline is because I do not want you to think that this is for people who are suffering brain health problems alone. Almost anyone can be. This stuff can help address depression, ADHD, post-concussion syndrome, serious brain injury problems, and overall just really help with better cognitive function, especially among those who are very healthy. There is humongous benefits behind this stuff. And so for anyone listening in on this, this can really work for you. So please do not discount this information. Take it to heart. Do your own research on this. So first article on the Ginkgo Biloba as to what the 12 benefits are. I'm pulling this from healthline.com. And this article was written by Ashley Hill, RDLD, back on May 29th, 2018. Now, what I'm sharing here is going to be a quick synopsis. Once again, do your own homework, research. There is a ton more information out there. Now, The studies that are done on these,
SWB
mainly
audio
they acknowledge
captured,
that these
not
have been done
registered.
primarily on animals, non-human beings. But then yet, if you're to talk to people who have done this stuff, you can hear a variety of stories. You can hear a variety of details as to what people have shared with you. Here I am sharing with you details on my personal experiences. So 12 benefits of Ginkgo biloba. I'm not going to read it all. I'm going to be covering the main points right here, but we're going to be starting off with the main introductory paragraph. Sorry for scratching my nose there if you have seen that. Ginkgo biloba, or holy cow, maiden hair. If there's anything that you, if you get to know me, if there's anything that you get to know me as when it comes to the bigger, heavier words, I know marketer here, a guy who deals with a lot of writing and reading, I have difficulty with the big words, but it's to be expected. So Ginkgo biloba, or maidenhair, is a tree native to China that has been grown for thousands of years for a variety of uses. So Ginkgo biloba is actually a leaf taken from this tree, and there's different ways that you can consume this leaf right here. And it says because it's the only surviving member of an ancient order of plants, it's sometimes referred to as a living fossil. So they're calling this an ancient tree. You can probably pretty much say the same thing for about any plant life here on Earth, that it's been pretty existent before mankind has really come around. So I guess I had to throw that part in there. Ginkgo supplements are associated with several health claims and uses, most of which focus on brain function and blood circulation. Now, from the best scientists and medical professionals that I have met in the brain injury recovery industry, one of the things that they have emphasized, that they have discovered, is blood circulation in the brain helps heal brains, helps improve recovery. And so for a supplement to actually improve blood circulation, that's the key thing right there that you need to look for. Blood circulation. All right. So here's what Ginkgo biloba has. It contains powerful antioxidants. It says high levels of flavonoid or flavonoids. There it is again, and terpenoids. If you were to talk to someone who is a nutritional specialist, they could probably read these things real quickly. Okay, so these are compounds known for their strong antioxidant effects. Antioxidants combat or neutralize damaging effects of free radicals. Free radicals are highly reactive particles that are produced in the body during normal metabolic functions, such as converting food to energy or detoxification. Now, these are similar compounds and effects in a green tea leaf compound that I take by supplement every day, EGCG. And this stuff is also used for anti-inflammatories, which is definitely awesome. The health benefits of these things can reduce anxiety, can reduce impression, because from what I've discovered from my own injury as well, is that brain inflammation plays a huge role in anxiety and a huge role in depression. And brain inflammation also plays a huge role in brain injury too, but it could also, for normal, everyday people, blood flow, antioxidants, huge for that. Research on ginkgo's antioxidant effects is promising, however, it remains unclear exactly how it works and how effective it may be treating a specific diseases. Let's see here.
SWB audio captured,
That was number 1.
not
What is number
registered.
2? Well, it skips number 2, but that's okay. Number 3, improve circulation and heart health. I'm wondering if number 2 here was something that was just way out of this world, so they decided to go back and remove it. Heck, if you're the author and you're listening in on this, I want to know what your number 2 is. I'm curious. Number 3, improves circulation and heart health. In traditional Chinese medicine, ginkgo seeds were used to open channels of energy to different organ systems, including the kidneys, liver, brain, and lungs. Ginkgo's apparent ability to increase blood flow to various parts of the body may be the origin of many of its supposed benefits. One study in people with heart disease who supplemented with ginkgo revealed an immediate increase in blood flow to multiple parts of the body. This was attributed to a 12% increase in levels of circulating nitric oxide, a compound responsible for dilating blood vessels. So this could be good if you're like me and suffer from high blood pressure. My high blood pressure was cured through two things. One, I do CrossFit, and two, I had really gotten heavy into supplements and nutritional therapy. And nutritional therapy, which is practically dieting and eating the right kinds of foods and bringing a reset to your body, has really helped level out my blood pressure and pulled me off the medication for that. So here's something to look out for. I'm not saying it's going to do that, but it's just pulling up flags for that, green flags. We're going to be jumping on down here. Reduces symptoms of psychiatric disorders and dementia. Now, here's where it is going for the brain health part. Ginkgo has been repeatedly evaluated for its ability to reduce anxiety, as I mentioned before, stress,
SWB audio capture
with
not
Alzheimer's
registered.
disease, and cognitive decline associated with aging. Overall research results are inconsistent in this area. Some studies show a marked reduction in the rate of cognitive decline in people with dementia using ginkgo, but others failed to replicate this result. A review of 21 studies revealed that when used in conjunction with conventional medicine, ginkgo extract may increase functional capabilities in those with mild Alzheimer's. Another review evaluated 4 studies and for significant reduction in a spectrum of symptoms associated with dementia when ginkgo was used for 22 to 24 weeks. These positive results could be related to the role that ginkgo may play in improving blood flow to the brain, especially as it relates to vascular types of dementia. Now, think about it here too. Like I said, this stuff is not just for Alzheimer's, but I'm finding similar results for brain injury recovery and for brain health. So this may be focused on a specific disease, but it does not mean you need to have the disease to benefit from it. Number 5, improves brain function and well-being. So there's some speculation that ginkgo may enhance brain function in healthy individuals. What are you doing here, baby girl? Oh my goodness, where is mommy? Yeah? Are you guys even hearing this here? I better pass my microphone on here just in case if you're not hearing her. Where is mommy? Yeah? I don't know if you heard that here, but my baby girl just came on down. She's supposed to be with her mom. And can you sit down, baby girl? And can you wait? Okay. I apologize about that. Mom is supposed to be watching my baby girl. I don't know what's going on here, but she's joining in. And so with that, yeah, you need to wait, baby girl. Okay, why don't you go back upstairs? Go back upstairs to your brothers. Can you do that, please? Or you can wait there. I'm going to do my best to try to ignore my cute baby girl right now and continue on here. All right, so improves brain function and well-being. A handful of small studies support the notion that supplementing with ginkgo may increase mental performance and perceived well-being. Let me tell you this. When I started Ginkgo Biloba back in the middle of summertime, I came across information that this is actually recommended stuff for folks with ADHD. That's how I first heard about it. Now, when I saw that, I decided to do some additional research and saw, hey, it does improve blood flow, does improve circulation. It tends to make people sharper. When I started taking that, after about 3 or 4 weeks, I did start to feel that sharpening effect in the brain. And I started to feel improvement. I started to feel a slight kick in memory retention. Now, I've been having difficulty with short-term memory loss since I've had my injury. And it's been nearly 4 years since I've had that brain injury or post-concussion syndrome. And things have been improving since I have been taking that, and I've been feeling a strength in that. I have been recommended to go and meet with a speech therapist that specifically specializes in brain injury recovery.
SWB audio capture not registered.
Memory loss. I have met with one before in my initial treatments, but I think can definitely still use improvement in that area immensely. Now, next one here is, and if you're hearing noise in the background, Kenna, please don't do that. I do apologize. And if not, then you know what? My audio dampener is actually working out the way it needs to. So I got a little bit of distraction going on right now, and I'm hoping not. So anyways, jumping back into this last part on the Ginkgo biloba, and then I'm going to switch on up to lion's mane. Some research indicates that supplementing with ginkgo may reduce symptoms of anxiety. A handful of animal studies have observed reductions in anxiety symptoms that may be attributed to antioxidant content of ginkgo. I apologize once again, you guys. She's getting louder, and I'm going to see if I can call Mom here. And I don't know what Mom is doing right now, but we'll see if we can get her on here. My little girl, she is 2 years old, and let me tell you, 2-year-olds, they are definitely a handful. And I cannot get my mom, or I cannot get her mom, on the watch right now. But that's okay. Alrighty. This is what happens when you work at home. Who hasn't seen that on the news, right? All right. So going back to the animal studies, in one study, 170 people with generalized anxiety were treated with either 240 milligrams or 480 milligrams of ginkgo or a
SWB audio
placebo.
capture
Now, this is
not
important.
registered.
I will admit, I'm in marketing, so part of marketing, you need to do research and understand the numbers, understand research, understand what it means to take a poll and the number of people to actually be effective for large populations. 170 people is rather small. So if you're going to compare 170 people to a large population, that's not going to cut it. You need thousands of people to help participate in this study. But this is a start. And if not only getting the information from me, but you listen to other testimonials based upon this information, you will know that this stuff works out really well. So going back to the placebo, the group treated with the highest dose of ginkgo reported a 45% greater reduction in symptoms of anxiety compared to the placebo group. While supplementing with ginkgo may reduce anxiety, it's still too early to draw any definitive conclusions from the available research. So this is repeated over and over again. You're going to find it anywhere that there is no conclusive studies. I'm glad they're acknowledging that, especially when they said the research right there. I mentioned what the problem was right there. I'm going to touch on the headlines right here, and then we're moving on. It says it can treat depression. You need to test that out for yourself right there. It can support vision and eye health. Can treat headaches and migraines. Now, I've already had my headaches and migraines resolved, but since headaches and migraines come as a result of injuries, result of stress, result of high blood pressure, various things can cause it. This is something that you'll need to test out for yourself. I can't tell you if this really does resolve that or not. And of course, taking anything new, don't expect things to happen.
SWB audio capture not registered.
To be resolved within minutes. Don't expect things to be resolved in hours or even in 24 hours or a single day. Give it time. Give it 2 weeks, give it 3 weeks, give it a month, and then come to your own conclusions after that. If you have to, even 3 months. I had found results came in rather rapidly within around 3 weeks when taking this supplement and also lion's mane. can improve asthma, COPD symptoms, reduce PMS symptoms. I can't attest to that. Treat sexual dysfunction. I can't attest to that there, and potential side effects there. Says for most adults, the risk associated with taking ginkgo is relatively low, but there are cases in which ginkgo could cause serious harm. So test this out. I haven't experienced any harmful effects from this, but go ahead and see what it does for you. Now we're jumping on to the lion's mane. This one I have noticed a much greater improvement with lion's mane, and not just lion's mane alone, but adding it in with the Ginkgo Biloba supplement. Taking both of these, I have noticed, how can I say it? Magnifying effects on my overall brain health. Taking both of them together, lion's mane now is a mushroom, but I'm taking it in supplement form. There's a couple different ways to take it. You can take it in pill form, or I have read articles where people said you can get the most valuable nutrition from lion's mane, and also for brain health, if you were to take lion's mane and boil it into a soup and take it that way, and it releases more nutrition that way. I still have yet to test it out that
audio
way,
capture,
taking it in
not
pill form
registered.
is doing it good enough. And when I say that, I am not a mushroom guy. My wife loves mushrooms, but if you're to throw mushrooms in front of me and ask me to eat them, I'm going to shove them off or ask you to put it on a pizza, and I'll take it that way. All right. Other than that, don't expect me to grab a portobello sandwich. Point taken. All right. But this one I actually heard from a nutritionist, a nutritional specialist. I shouldn't call him a nutritionist, but I heard from a nutritional specialist who's talking about the benefits of lion's mane, and talked about how it improves memory retention, mental focus, and sharpening of the brain. Similar effects to Ginkgo biloba, but it sounded like it added more brain matter the way he was describing it. So I had to go and read things for myself on this. Now, what I had found from other articles, not from this one, this is just to give you some introductory information here. And then from here, we're going to take it, we're going to take it from there as far as that goes. Now, I have just lost my focus on that. And perhaps I need to give my brain a rest or to rethink things here for a moment. No, when I first started taking lion's mane, it took me about 3 weeks to start recognizing the effects of this. I started to notice that I was getting faster in my thought process. And I noticed that I was able to repeat things back to people. In my
SWB audio capture, not registered.
A responsibility for the past, or over the past year, where I had to play, and still am currently playing, an influential role, where there will be some Sundays where I am teaching gospel principles directly from the scriptures, and I lead people in discussion. One of the problems that I have been facing right there, that we've been asked, because of the whole pandemic that has been happening, not everyone does come to church just yet. In fact, we've been doing church by Zoom for a period of time, and it was about a year ago when we were doing it, a little over a year ago when we were meeting in person again, probably about a year and a half ago, most likely. And but we have been broadcasting our meetings by Zoom, and we have been asked to repeat certain phrases or certain discussions. Now, see, when we teach, we don't necessarily teach everything and people just listen to us alone. We engage the group in gospel principle discussions. And so we study out the topics for ourselves as to what is contained in the scriptures. We share the information. And as we share the information along, we expect people to comment. We ask questions to help engage the audience, to help them participate. And we do that because it helps people be able to retain things better. Excuse me. But because we've been doing this on Zoom, we have been asked to repeat everything the audience has been saying over Zoom, so that way people can hear, since we were tied to the mics, but people out in the general audience was not, so it was more difficult to hear them. That was a very difficult
audio capture
I
not
had
registered.
To try to resolve that every time I led the discussions, but it could not be resolved. Every attempt without fail that I have tried to repeat things back to people, I would get that same person talking back to me, or someone else would just say, no, that's not what I heard. This is what I heard. And it was easy for me to mix things on up. So that is where I have been having problems with the short-term memory retention. Things would just get lost immediately. Long-term memories, as long as I've studied this stuff out ahead of time and sealed it into my long-term memory, I was able to engage people appropriately in discussions. Now, it didn't mean that I couldn't communicate. It just meant that repeating things back was hard for me to do. When I was taking lion's mane, after a few weeks, and I was leading those discussions, and it's not just in church, but I've noticed in other group meetings, even in my CrossFit group, I would repeat either word for word what the people would tell me, or I would put it into my own words, and I would do it in a matter of seconds. The power of lion's mane had done that to my brain after I started taking that. And now I am 3 months into lion's mane with Ginkgo Biloba. It is absolutely incredible, the power behind that. Now, if that can help me out in my brain injury recovery, if you find yourself having problems with retaining things like that just by being healthy,
SWB audio capture not registered.
This can probably even help you in that aspect. It has helped me. One of the other things that I have read with lion's mane, and we might be running into that when I jump into this article here, is that lion's mane has been helped to promote neuron growth, neuron cellular growth, and also nerve growth. And not just nerve growth throughout the brain, but promotes nerve growth. Well, not just nerve growth in the body, it's nerve growth in the brain. That's what I meant to say. Nerve growth in the brain and creating new neurons and new neural pathways. And it helps strengthens the brain on that. I've never taken a scan of my brain. I don't see, well, I've taken scans of my brain for other areas there, but I don't know what my neural pathways look like for my brain. I've never seen it. I would be very interested to see what that's like, and I would be very interested to see what that looks like 6 months out and even a year out. But until I can meet someone who can help me undo that, this is just my personal experience that I'm sharing with you on there. Noticing the sharper effects of my brain and what I'm been able to do, I am able to better communicate and better retain communications between folks, between a group of people, between a crowd of people, which is a huge blessing, because if you know anything about brain injury recovery, that can be a real struggle. I've also noticed that it is having an effect on my personality, and that I need to come up with some exercise routines, because I will tell you what, the person
SWB audio capture not registered.
The recovery that I've done so far, I've really enjoyed. I have also noticed that there is a return to some old areas. of some old personality traits, and I want to be able to make sure that I can go ahead and tackle those things as those things get revived. On another sensitive subject, and this is just to attest to you the effects of lion's mane. I have moved back to my hometown of Nebraska. I grew up here for 17 years of my life. I wasn't born here, but I grew up here for 17 years of my life. And right after high school, I had moved out and I had lived away for another 17 years. I never imagined or ever dreamt of coming back here to Nebraska, but coming back here was the right move. I came back here a few months after my auto accident, and it has been an important and influential role in my mental health recovery. There's a lot of old friends, a lot of old known associates from high school, from church that I came across. Some of them I could remember instantly, others I could not. And also, I had discovered that I have lost so much. And so as I have lived here back in my old hometown, I would discover memory after memory would return. Now, just a couple weeks ago, I was attending a funeral for one of my classmates. She was definitely young. She was either 40 or 39 when she passed away. It was
SWB audio capture not
passing.
registered.
I haven't been friends with her. I have associated with her. I have communicated with her. I've talked with her. I've been very nerdy with her. And back when we were in high school, so I could say that there, but we never really hung out. Never really done anything outside of church, should I say. She passed away. And so I went to the funeral to show support for the family. And little did I expect it, while I was sitting there and they were sharing her life story, I started to have a flood of memories unlock and just refill my brain. And not just of her, but of everyone I ever knew and most of the experiences I ever had out here in Nebraska. Memories that I never thought that I lost because they were completely gone out of my brain. I don't know if it was the lion's mane that played a role in that memory being unlocked or not, but that meant a lot to me. It meant a lot to me being there at that funeral. All right. I'm done sharing those personal experiences with you. Let's jump onto this article here. What are the benefits of lion's mane mushrooms? This comes from medicalnewstoday.com. And the author of this article is Alan Carter, PharmD, or medically reviewed by Alan Carter, PharmD, and written by Jane Leonard.
SWB audio capture not registered.
So 2018, definitely an influential real year in brain health research, it looks like. Lion's mane mushrooms. Excuse me. There's those big scientific words again. Hericium, Iraniceus. Forget about that. Lion's mane mushrooms are white, globe-shaped fungi that have long, shady spines. People can eat them or take them in the form of supplements. Research suggests that they may offer a range of health benefits, including reduced inflammation and improved cognitive and heart health. People in Asia use these mushrooms both culinary and medicinally purposes. health food stores sell lion's mane extract in supplement form, and both are fungus, and its extracts appear to be beneficial to health. Here, we discussed the potential benefits of lion's mane mushrooms and considered the possible risks and side effects of their use. So, to cut this really short, lion's mane side effects, they said virtually there is none. That's what it is at the end of the article. If I were to take you on down here for the takeaway there, or for the dosages, well, here we go. Risk and side effects there. Most studies on lion's mane mushrooms have been used on animals, but it appears to be safe to eat these mushrooms in moderate quantities, as many people do in Asia. The safety and effectiveness of lion's mane supplements are less apparent because dietary supplements do not have the same regulations as food and drug products. However, in animal studies, even high doses did not produce adverse effects in rodents. So they're practically
SWB audio captured, not registered.
They haven't really noticed anything negative on it. All right, so let's quickly go through this here. So inflammation and oxidation. Oxidants may fight both inflammation and oxidation in the body. Inflammation contributes to many medical conditions, including diabetes, heart disease, and autoimmune disease. So other studies besides brain health, but then yet all this correlates into brain health because brain health requires blood flow. Lion's mane mushrooms may enhance the immune system, partly by reducing inflammation and preventing oxidation. Research on mice suggests that lion's mane mushrooms may boost the activity of the intestinal immune system. The results of another study on mice indicate that a protein in lion's mane mushrooms encourages the growth of beneficial gut bacteria that strengthen immunity, which is awesome. It also helps with anxiety and depression, mainly because of the anti-inflammation properties of it, and probably also because of the neuron growth health. Cognitive health, let's jump into that. It is possible lion's mane mushrooms might boost cognitive function, but the existing research is mainly on animals. In one study, lion's mane dietary supplements appeared to give mice better objective recognition and recognition memory. Other researchers have concluded that the mushrooms may have the potential to treat or prevent diseases that cause a decline in cognitive health, such as Parkinson's disease and Alzheimer's disease. Parkinson's disease and Alzheimer's disease, both Alzheimer's for sure, but I believe they both deal with the brain. However, there is currently a lack of research on the effects of lion's mane mushrooms in humans.
SWB audio capture, not registered.
Point that out. An older Japanese study on adults aged between 50 and 80 years with mild cognitive impairment found that daily consumption of mushrooms extract for 16 weeks led to higher scores on cognitive function scales compared with a placebo group. These scores decreased again once the participants stopped taking the extract. So that is definitely very important right there. I'll jump on heart health and cancer here. Lion's mane extract may improve heart health, but the research, may improve heart health. Okay. Research on rats showed that mushroom extracts might have a cholesterol lowering effect. For cancer, the antioxidant properties of lion's mane mushrooms may play a role in cancer prevention or treatment. The results of a virtual study indicate that lion's mane extracts have therapeutic potential against human leukemia. So once again, I'm focusing on the brain health, but anything on this that I'm sharing with you, you need to do your own research, but I'm providing information. You can find these articles in the links. You can find the links to these articles in the description to this video and to this podcast. There are many other benefits here. One more right here. Nervous system recovery. Damage to nervous systems can have significant effects on health. Some research suggests that extracts of lion's mane mushrooms may encourage nerve cells to grow and repair more quickly. I cannot tell you if they are, but I can tell you the effects of lion's mane that it has on me. Night and day difference. I'm noticing some personality changes. I'm also noticing huge cognitive improvement with it.
SWB
So
audio
that can only
capture,
attest to
not
what
registered.
this is saying. As far as forms and dosage, do your own research on that and come to your own conclusions. Now, before I end on this, I told you I was going to show you the supplements that I was taking for this. These guys are not sponsors, but I do have a link. If there's a way that you can go ahead and show your support, share this video, share this information, but also you can click on the Amazon link that is provided. That is an affiliate link. That'll take you right to the supplements that I take on a regular basis. And that could also help give me some more encouragement to create some more videos like this. And more podcasts. I got to keep it to the word podcast here. But I'm showing the camera of what the bottle looks like. And it says Lion's Mane plus Ginkgo Biloba. Energy plus memory plus immune support. This supplement is done by the company Noomost. So Noomost is the company. But you can find these pills either directly through their website or through Amazon. Right here on the bottle, it says 1 capsule of 5,520 milligrams of both lion's mane and ginkgo biloba. On the back here, you got 500. It breaks down here 5,400 milligrams of organics lion's mane mushroom, and then you got 120 milligrams of ginkgo biloba leaf. Now, I have chosen this brand mainly because of the high dose of both substances there, of not substances but supplements in that. And I did it intentionally to see what kind of effect it would. When I tried lion's mane before in ginkgo biloba, it was much less than what this offers of both types. And I have noticed some slight improvements from both, but as soon as I turn it over to this high dosage supplement, it made a huge night and day difference. I have been on that for the past 3 months now. Things are looking on the up and up and continuing going there. So take this information as you will. I hope it serves you good. I hope you have learned something today. I hope it gives you a guiding path as to what to look for and to bring improvement to your own mental health. I'd like to thank you for joining me today. This is Inner Pursuit. I am David Pearson. Thank you for listening.